Hello, it's Zach from Nomadic Art Surgery, and here we're gonna go through short video about the thumb rings. Okay, so we're gonna start with the wax carving. First thing, we're gonna improvise the mold, and into that mold we're gonna pour hot wax. Make sure you always have a napkin or something because you don't want to put you don't want cause the fire or something. So just make sure you wipe everything off. It's better be safe than sorry. I don't know how it burns, but I don't want to find out. So basically, that would be about the pouring. We're going to use step drill to start drilling the hole. You can use the drill, but it doesn't take that much time. I just use two different types of step drills. They're very affordable, and they don't have to be super sharp either. So slowly you can open it up basically halfway through, and it's easier to clean up. If you use high speeds with jeweler's wax, then everything gonna get clogged up, and you don't want to do that. You can always melt it down, but by the time you drill one hole, that's gonna save you so much time on cleaning. So the first one is fairly sharp, and it doesn't take that much time. The second one I'm gonna use, it's a bit bigger, and it opens up a bit more. In this part, I'm using Fordham SR series flex shaft tool. It has a foot pedal, and once again, we're gonna use slow speeds. And first thing I usually do, I open up the hole till it's maybe 2 millimeters on both axes slower. So if you use high speeds, again, everything will melt and get clogged up. In this case, it doesn't even fly far. So once you got hole fairly open, you can start shaping ring. Make sure you don't press hard. Let the tool do the work. And the carbide tip that I use, that's my sharpest one. The rest of them, I just throw them away. It was didn't worth my patience and everything. Of course, you can do everything with rotary tools. That was one of the first lessons that I was taught by a fairly old master, and he taught me how to use files only. And after that, it's easier to combine than just learn everything all over again. Another thing that I learned from him is he came to my table and asked me, like, if I'm gonna teach you, first things first, take Dremel home, take this thing home, take this thing home, and then we can work. So I did, and after that, I hardly ever get back to Dremel. Eventually, I got myself a proper set, and I never gonna look back. So back to the ring. So once we got a hole open, we're gonna open it sort of a square vertically, and then we're gonna work on inside. Since I'm doing a ring inspired by the let's say metal detector found that was found in what is today Serbia. So I'm using same angles and I'm basically copying that. So the angle is about maybe 60 degrees, but I'm not sure. I never measured it. I just compared to. And I work from basically from inside, and then I go back and forth inside and outside, and I'm smoothing out the different angles and all of that. Another thing with the rotary tools, they tend to leave waves, and you don't want waves. They're so hard to get rid of later on. So that's why I'm using file as much as I'm using for them. So make sure you break all the edges. And here I'm using rasp for woodworking. And once you got everything sort of set up, then we're gonna start smoothing out the edges, blending everything. I got another file that is basically made, it's a jeweler's file. It's a very fine, it's a beautiful file. This one is sandpaper glued on the stick. That always helps. And here I'm gonna use a torch. It's hard to see and it's hard for me to keep it in focus. Basically what the torch does is blends all the scratches, and at that point you can see angles much better. You can use the light contrasts to see it properly. And here I can use my Italian jeweler's file. It's made in Italy and it's a beautiful file. It's a $50, but it's worth it. So at this point I can blend in all of my angles, all the bumps and all of that will disappear under it. And I make sure that sides of the rings, they don't exceed more than 2 millimeters, and the front lip is not thicker than 3 millimeters. You can make it quite thick, but it doesn't have to be. So again, with the sandpaper, it will blend everything in. You can see where you made the bumps, where the angles are going wrong, and so on. And it will be much easier once you use the torch again. It will eventually look fairly nice. So that would be that for today. I hope you learned something new. Please subscribe, do all the commenting. Let me know what I'm doing wrong, what can I do better, of course. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.